Hey folks, and welcome to this video. In this video I am going to go over the dashboards that we have available. We have, as an additional membership, access to all of the dashboards, our premium videos, and much else. And I've done this because not everybody is using MT4. In a situation like that where you are not using MT4 but you still wish to take advantage of the algorithms that we have at Pipnotic, you can do so because a lot of the information is available via the dashboards. Okay, and so first of all, where do you find the dashboards? Well, the dashboards are available by visiting the Pipnotic website, so pipnotic.com. And up in the menu here, you have a memberships menu point. And you have two memberships. We have the free one and the premium. Okay, in the premium membership, we have several different pages. We have the first point, which is a premium analysis. And the premium analysis is essentially an analysis that I perform on assets that are requested by users. And so it could be someone who's wondering about the future price of gold. And so they will say, hey Sareed, I'm quite curious as to the future price of gold. What do you reckon? And so I will use the algorithms and my own knowledge of performing analysis, using the algorithms to try and make sense of the asset price of gold and see where it's likely to go in the near future. We have a very big archive of that. We have well over 100 videos in that archive. As an example, we made some predictions late last year of Bitcoin returning to about $25,000 to $20,000 when it was at about $65,000 or $68,000. And so the algorithms are very accurate, and they are very good at telling us where prices are very likely to go in the near future. So this you will find. And if there is an asset that you would like me to analyze, please send me an email and I'll be absolutely thrilled to perform the analysis and upload it to the archives here so it's available for everybody. Okay, so the next menu point is the premium video archive. And the premium video archive is a subset of all of the videos that I have created over the past 8 to 10 years, probably 10 years. And it includes the premium analysis, of course, all of the videos relating to the software that we have at Pipnotic. We have some very in-depth videos that explain the concept of liquidity, what it means, and how the presence or lack of liquidity affects the price of an asset. This is a very important concept to understand. We have a buy and sell zone analysis, which is me walking through an analysis of an asset and discussing what a buy and sell zone setup would look like. Okay, so you can look at a price of an asset, you can see where it has been, you can look at the footsteps that it makes, and you can build up a narrative about the price of the asset, where it is now relative to where it has been historically and where it is likely to go based on these two things. We also have, I also have all of the premium webinars that I do for FX Street. I do these every month, and subscribers of the FX Street premium webinars get access to these videos, and I also include them here in the premium video archive. We have also a section about currency strength, which goes into detail about using our tools and how we can use them to understand the likely near-term future price of an asset based on currency strength. And obviously this applies to currencies because currencies are a very beautiful study for this. We have an archive for algorithmic trading, and this is very much based on the algos that we have and what they do and why they do it. This is very interesting as well to understand how algo traders often work. And so the algos that we have, the buy and the sell zones algo and the asset strength aversion algo, they are very different in the way they perceive prices and how they make trading decisions. So there's a lot of information in there about that, if that should be interesting for you. And I have well over 1,000 hours of recordings in hundreds and hundreds of videos, and this is just a subset of the recordings that I've done historically. But if there's something you feel is missing, or there's a video that I don't have that you feel that you would get value from, please let me know, and I will be thrilled to add it to the archives. And then we have the dashboards, and the dashboards we have 5 of, and they are these 5 here. Okay, we have the supply and demand dashboard, which we will look at first. So this is the dashboard that shows the supply and demand software. And the supply and demand software is a super powerful tool that we have created, rather I have created over the course of the past actually many years. And what it is doing, it is analyzing historical asset prices, and it is looking for liquidity voids, price imbalances, and things like this. And it is identifying entry prices based on that. And these are, they can be used as inspiration for trades. I wouldn't trade them as they are because we are not a signal service at Pipnotic, but we are showing you where prices are likely to sell from. And so from around the 1.3 price for the euro Canadian dollar, once prices rally up to this price point, then they are likely to sell off for short to medium term. And then we do this for many different asset prices and time frames. We have for the daily chart, for the 4-hour chart, and we also have for the hourly chart. And I'm just doing some development on the dashboard as we speak, which is why we do not have the hourly chart. But for the time being, we have this. But they are updated every few minutes, and you will find the updates in here. Okay, and we have a few different columns here. We have the asset name, the time frame, we have the operation, buy or sell, the entry price, the stop price, and we have something called zone. And the zone is telling us what zone we are in. Okay, so if we are in a sell zone, it means that the price of the asset is likely going to sell off. If we are in a buy zone, then it's likely going to be bought. Okay, so if you have a buy signal or a buy operation in a sell zone, that means that you are buying at premium prices. When you have alignment in the two, which we do not have for many of these, it means that we have alignment. Okay, we have this. We have XBR versus the American dollar. This is a 4-hour time frame, and we have a buy signal in a buy zone. That means that the XBR versus the American dollar is very low, and we have a buy zone. But you can see here the next column, which is the trend column. This is telling us that we are still selling off. So even though we're in a buy zone, we're still going lower. And so when this turns green and begins to go up, that means that it's time to buy. And then you will see this reflected in maybe a new price point here. It doesn't mean that you can't buy now, because this price here is lower than the current market price. It just means that we have not really started to slow down. This means that the histogram is still negative and moving negative. So we could see prices get even more cheaper. Then we have something here called age. And the age is telling us something about the age of the area. So how long ago this area of demand was created. And it was created 7 4-hour bars ago. Okay, and so we have, where are we? Yeah, so 28 periods ago on a 4-hour chart, this area of demand was formed. Okay, and then we have, of course, the time, GMT, when this signal or this alert came in from the server in Germany. Okay, so super interesting. So what you would do is you would take this and you would take it to your trading platform. So if we do that, XBR versus the American dollar. So going to the trading platform, you can see the XBR versus the American dollar. We are on the 4-hour chart. You can see that we are low, and we have many price inefficiencies above price. So this is the path of least resistance, higher, and we are reacting at some major lows. We had a very big rejection there. So obviously a lot of intent on bringing these prices higher, and prices returning back to that price point now. And so it is expectation that price would go back down to here. So if we look at the price that it's telling us about, that is the, where are we, XBR, the 91.76. If we go there and have a look. So 91.76, let's bring that to a smaller time frame. .91, I can't see that very well. Let me change the color. White, make it thick. Still lower yet, 91. So around here. So it says that when price comes down and revisits these lows, the likelihood of price moving higher is quite high. Okay, and you can already see that price has already started to turn around. And so if price has a quick dash lower to fill a potential order that we may or may not put in the market, then that would be a very attractive trade. Okay, and so this is how you use the supply and demand dashboard. And I'm currently working on rewriting all of the software in Python, and I had to go in the past, but I decided to maintain the existing offering for MT4. And so while I'm still going to maintain the MT4 offering, I'm also going to develop everything in Python. And this will result in the dashboards including many more asset types and asset classes, which would be quite beautiful. And so I look very much forward to that. But that's still in the works, and that's still 3 to 6 months down the road. Okay, so if we continue on to the next one, we have buy and sell zones. Let me go to that one quickly here. Buy and sell zones. The buy and sell zones algo trader is running on many computers all over the world, and it is actually trading in people's accounts. And you can see here, this column tells you the account type. So this is a live account, 6 micro lots. This was the entry, the stop, and the target. And so these are trades that have not yet been filled, and these are limit orders that the buy and sell zone algo trader has placed in the market on somebody's computer. I don't know whose it is, because the information sent from the algo trader is anonymous. It just contains the information about the trade and nothing else. And so this information is sent to the dashboard and displayed in the table like this. So you can see if it's live or if it's demo. Okay, so if we just move down here, you can see that we have lots of live trades from the beginning of the month, and these may or may not have been filled. We don't know. Okay, and so you'll also see a slight difference in the symbol. I mean, this one here has an apostrophe at the end of it. This one here has a dot R. So this is because the different brokers have different names for these assets, and so some will add characters and some will not. Okay, and so just keep this in mind. We have the lot size, we have the entry, the stop, and the target, and the time frame, and of course the operation. And this is the time. This is GMT when this order was placed on the person's computer. Okay, so super cool information. So this enables us to kind of see where all of the different, or rather what all of the different algo traders out there, the buy and sell zone robots, are trading on all of these different accounts. And we have buy and sell zones running on about 50 to 60 different accounts, both live and demo. So this is very interesting information. You can use this as well for inspiration to your own trading. Okay, so moving on to the asset strength reversion. This is an algo that is also running, but it's not terribly active at the moment. It's not. I'm currently working on the API that is recording this information. So it's not working. It hasn't been updated for several days because I'm still working on this. So you don't have to pay attention to this just yet, but it's something that I am currently working on. This is a different algo trader. This is the asset strength reversion algo trader, which is based on the logic of the asset strength histogram, which we have here. So moving down to the asset strength histogram, this algorithm is telling us when we have asset prices reaching buy and sell zones. And this is interesting. Okay, so if we look on this chart, this is the Euro Australian dollar. So if we open the trading platform, we go to the Euro Australian dollar. Let's see where that is. Right here. This is a 4-hour signal. And this is to sell. And so it's telling us that it's time to sell. And you can see that when we are very high, the dashboard reached the sell zone. We went above the green line. We started to get these dots. And so we were told that it's probably a good idea to start to sell. And we got the first signal here. Okay. So this one right here. So we were told that it would be a good idea to sell on this green candle. Okay, and so then it is up to us to identify the area of supply, which we would have likely seen on the supply and demand software. So let me add the rectangle, insert. Oops. And you could see very clearly where this signal was located. Let me fix this. Boom, like so. And you can see here we were told that it's time to sell when this candle closed. And we saw a lovely entry here. This is just a perfect situation of that, where we were told to sell. You could see that we were very positive, starting to move negative. And so the ideal entry, of course, would have been here. Of course, this is after the fact, but this is how you would use the software. Okay. And so if we look at another one, similar situation for the Euro Kiwi. So if we go to the Euro Kiwi, it's going to look quite similar, I think, to that. Yes, very similar indeed. So we had the first signal around here when price went above the green line. We had the confirmation here when this red dot was formed right here, which is where we have prices going higher, but the histogram, which is essentially the underlying value of the asset, going lower. So there's a disconnect. So we have, when we have asset prices going higher, but the underlying value, or the difference between the two currencies, is in divergence to the price, that means we're likely going to sell. Okay, but for this one here, we got the signal right here. This little box, this little blue box, told us that it was time to sell. We were in the sell zone. Price came up. We filled the order on this blue candle, and then price sold off after that. Okay, and you would have got the signal on the buy and sell zones dashboard when this red candle closed. When this red candle closed, it said sell at this price point here. Price went up to it, and now it's moved away beautifully. Now we have actually consumed this area of demand just below. Okay, so that's how you would use that. So moving on to the next dashboard. This is the last one. This is the forecast, and the forecasts are a collection of dashboards. This is still very experimental, and this is based on deep learning. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking historical price, daily price data for a handful of assets, these currencies, these cryptocurrencies. We have some indices, we have a handful of stocks, and we have some assets in the futures market. And I'm running it through a machine learning algorithm, or a deep learning algorithm, which is where I take 70% of the data, I run it through the algorithm, and it tries to predict the remaining 30% of the data that we have. And so it tries to fit it. And so it says, based on this data set, we take 70% of it, we run it through the network, the machine learning or the deep learning network, and we try to make it fit the remaining 30%. And when we get a decent fit, then it uses that path through the neural network to predict the coming 30 periods. Okay, and this is what it's doing here, and it does a really good job, surprisingly enough, because this is a very difficult thing to get right. But when you slow things down, you use daily data, weekly data, maybe even 4-hour data, you can actually get a pretty high degree of accuracy. And while I think that this is just over 50% accuracy, I think you'll find that it does an even better job than that. And so I wouldn't trade that. I wouldn't trade it exclusively, but I would certainly use this information as inspiration, combining this information with the other tools that we have at Pipnotic. So you go through here. If there's something here that you're missing that you would like to see, please let me know, and I will be thrilled to add it. But it's very interesting to see how this how it tries to predict the asset prices of Bitcoin and whatnot. And it was good. It was predicting $20,000 in Bitcoin when it was over 65,000 back in November. So it does seem to work quite well. Okay, good. Well, that concludes what we have here. But keep in mind that these dashboards, they're all here. If you have something that you wanted added to the video archive, or you want an asset added to any of the dashboards that is not there, please let me know, and I will be thrilled to do that for you. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching.